All right, let's dive in and solve one of the most common mysteries in the English language, the word myself. I mean, why is it so often used incorrectly? Well, by the end of this little explainer, you're going to be able to use it with total confidence. So let's get right to it.
Okay, let's be honest for a second. Are you absolutely positive you're using myself the right way? If you even hesitated for a moment, you are not alone. This is a word that trips up even native speakers, usually because they're trying to sound a little more formal and just end up tying their sentences in knots. So today, we're going to untangle all of that.
So, before we even look at the mistakes, let's focus on the right way to use these words. Because when you get them right, they do more than just follow some grammar rule. They actually give your sentences a lot more power and precision.
So what are we talking about here? Well, the official term is reflexive pronouns, and that name gives you a huge clue. They reflect the action back onto the subject of the sentence, kind of like a mirror. The person doing the action is also the person receiving it. But as we're about to see, they have a couple of other really powerful uses too.
Okay, the first really powerful and totally correct way to use a reflexive pronoun is for emphasis. Yep, you use it to show that the subject and nobody else is the one who performed the action. It just adds a little punch, It highlights that personal involvement.
Now, what's really cool is how just a tiny change in where you put the word can totally dial up that emphasis. So look on the left. We've got the standard version. The teacher paid for the books himself. That's fine. But check out the right side. The teacher himself paid for the books. See that? Just by moving himself right after the subject, the whole statement feels so much stronger.
And this really gets to the heart of why that stronger emphasis works so well. When you say, the president herself wrote to the student, you're not just stating a fact. You're kind of implying that it was unusual, that you wouldn't normally expect someone in her position to do it personally. It's a signal that this action was something special, something out of the ordinary.
All right, on to the second major correct use. This one is a fantastic shortcut in English. Anytime you pair a reflexive pronoun with the word by, it immediately means the subject did something all alone or without any help. It's super handy.
Just look at these examples. I went to Canada by myself. It's just a much cleaner way of saying no one else went with me. Or the children put away their toys by themselves. That just means they did it without any help. It's a really common and useful phrase. So the key takeaway is simple. By plus one of these pronouns basically means alone.
Okay, so we've covered the right way to use them. Now, let's talk about the traps, those common mistakes we all hear and maybe even make. This is where most people get tripped up, so let's clear these up once and for all.
And here it is, trap number 1. This one is a biggie. People so often say something like, Betty and myself are making dinner, because they think it sounds more formal or maybe more polite, but it's just incorrect. Myself can't be the subject of a sentence. The fix is so simple. Just use I. Betty and I are making dinner. That's it.
And here's the second really common trap, using myself as an object when it isn't actually reflecting back to the subject. In the sentence, text your response to Nicole or myself, the word should simply be me. Now, why is that? Because the pronoun isn't reflecting back on the person doing the texting. Here's a super easy trick. Just take the other person out of the sentence. You would never say, text your response to myself, right? You'd say, text your response to me. Well, the same rule applies here.
Okay, you've seen the rules, you've seen the traps. Feeling pretty confident? Let's find out. We're going to do a very quick check to test what you've learned so far.
All right, here's the first one. If you want to correctly add emphasis, which one is it going to be? Think back to that word order rule we just talked about.
And the correct answer is Jeremy himself scored the winning goal. That's it. Remember, for that extra strong emphasis, the reflexive pronoun has to come right after the person or thing you're trying to highlight. Okay, moving on to question number 2. This one is testing one of those really common grammar traps. So, which one of these is correct? Think about what can't be the subject of a sentence.
Yes, the correct version is, the boys and I are going to the movies. You totally nailed it if you remembered that myself just can't be part of a compound subject. You have to use the subject pronoun I. Great job with that. We've really covered a lot of ground in a pretty short amount of time. So let's wrap all this up with a simple, clear takeaway. Just the essential rules you need to remember.
Here it is, all boiled down to 4 simple rules. Think of it as 2 do's and 2 don'ts. So, do use them for emphasis, and do use them with by to mean alone. And then don't use them as a subject, and don't use them as a simple object. If you can just lock in these 4 rules, you are going to get it right pretty much every single time.
And really, it all comes down to this. Knowing these little rules isn't just about being correct for the sake of it. It's about being clear, being precise, and being effective. Great communication really is about making a smart choice with every single word.
And with that, the myself mystery is officially solved. Hey, if you found this useful and you want more little explainers just like this to help sharpen your skills, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.